So we're going to give it a few minutes because obviously I'm on my backup account. I know I don't get anywhere near the same amount of people on here as I get on my main account. So I'm going to give it a minute. And when people do notice it live, if they can come on and just give me a couple of thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever suits you. Hit the share button. Also invite a few people in, which would also be greatly appreciated. Good evening, Minion. I'm talking to Phil Harris, by the way. So, we'll wait a minute while I'm looking all cheerful. For now. She looks cheerful for now. Before I sort of say anything about what it is and a couple of up-and-coming things that are good that I want people to look out for. Like I said, we've got 7 people on here at the minute, so I know I don't get the same numbers on here as I get on my main account. I know this. Hi, Michelle Conley. I'm not too bad, thank you. Health's a little bit crap at the minute, but there you go. That's life. I can see one of my favourite ladies, Torrin Watson, is on here. Torrin, you've had a couple of missed calls from me. When you get a spare moment in your very hectic life, it'd be really good if you could give me a ring, because the idea that I spoke to you about once before, I'm putting everything in place, and I'd really like you to be there at the very first meeting. But I know that we need to work how we're going to get you there. Thank you very much, Dave Rowley. So, now there's 10 people on here, and I know I'm never going to get that many people on here. I don't ever hit the same numbers. Hi, Natalie Bradshaw. Evening, beautiful. Oh, if only. I'm 50. There's not that much left that's beautiful about me, but the inside's beautiful, and that's what matters. So, I just wanted to give you guys who aren't on my main account a little bit of an update, a bit of information if you're not aware this is going on. Michael Jeffries, I do need to speak to you at some point as well. So, Torrin, hello stranger. I know it's been too long. It's been too long, Torrin, and we do need a proper little catch up. So, to those who aren't aware of the fact that there is a man, his name is Robin Tilbrook. If my message looks as good as usual, I'll be Thanks, Dave. So there is a man called Robin Tilbrook. Robin is taking the government and Theresa May to court because her taking us and extending Article 50 was unlawful. Now I'm really confused because I can see people pushing out the Brexit Party. I can see people pushing out for MEPs from UKIP or independents and everything else. I can see everybody doing that. I don't quite understand why we haven't had hundreds of thousands of people, 17.4 million to be precise, donating just £5 to this man who is taking it to the High Court. He is taking Theresa May and the government to the High Court. He intends to hold the government accountable because what they've done is illegal. Okay, it's unlawful and illegal. So he is actually prepared to fight that in the courts, in the High Court. It's already started. The ball has already started. So he is already making that journey. So I don't really understand why we haven't got 17.4 million people sticking £5 in to help him do that. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. Just give me a minute because a little bit of a backache. So let me just get myself comfortable. There should be 17.4 million people should be backing this man. They should be backing him, sticking £5 or £1, £2.50, £1.50 into the pot. Now, on Saturday, hopefully, fingers crossed, if it all goes according to plan, and I'm afraid you are all going to have to go and tell everybody on your Facebook, and on Saturday evening, around about between 8 and 8:30, I'm going to attempt to get Robin Tilbrook live on Facebook, direct to Facebook, so you can all ask him anything you want, any question, anything you're concerned about. okay, you can put that question to him. So I'm going to enable that by going live. Now, I got a Facebook ban for a post that they've dug up from about 2 years ago, when I'm actually calling out so-called right-wingers that were attacking me. And I've called them out, and I've called them out for bullshit. And yet, Facebook deemed that worthy of a Facebook 30-day ban, which these 30-day bans are never a 30-day ban. They are always 40 and 50-day bans now. Always. So, like I said, English Democrats are ahead of the game, 8% chance for success. That's absolutely, you are 100% right, Mark. There is an 8% chance of success of this case when he takes it to court. It is a winnable case, right? Now, this all stems back from what Gina Miller did. So basically, when Gina Miller decided to punish us Brexiteers, us who voted to leave the EU dictatorship, she took it through the High Courts. This meant that any decisions that were made had to go to a vote. Not just a discussion, but a vote via Parliament. Theresa May didn't do that when she extended Article 50. Well, I'm sorry, but Gina Miller, you set the precedents. So I don't understand, why have we not got 17.4 million people sticking £5 towards Robin? I mean, if you can afford it, I would say to you, please, if you've got £100 spare, donate, right? You can go to www.engdem.org, ingdem.org, okay? And somebody did say to me they were concerned because it goes to the English Democrats. No, the English Democrats, Robin is the chairman of the English Democrats. So, of course, they're using the English Democrats, sort of like their bank account to get this through the courts. But it's Robin that's fighting this, you know. So he needs that help. And I have seen when, and I'm not going to sit there and go, well, this person did that, and this person did that, and you did this for this person, you did that for this person. But I have seen when people have raised £26,000 in 2 days. So I know it's doable. It can be done. What I don't understand is why people aren't doing it. I don't understand that. Find that a little confusing. Don't understand why. Put aside whoever your party is. It's really irrelevant whether you're UKIP or whether you're part of the Brexit party or whether you're for Britain. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. This man is taking it through the High Courts. Sorry, I'm going to put my notifications off, because if I don't, then you're just going to hear every sound that I hear, and my notifications go a little bit mental. So just give me a minute. So I don't really understand why people haven't got more behind Robin and what he is trying to achieve and what he intends to do when he has a very winnable case for the people. Because that's who he's doing it for. This is not an English Democrat Party political broadcast, but the fact of the matter is, he just happens to be the chairman of the English Democrats, and he's the one that said, you know what, I'm a lawyer, what they've done is wrong. And now you've got people inside the House of Lords that are also saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is unlawful. And he's the one that's trying to get it through the High Courts to fight it. So I don't understand why we haven't got thousands more people out there donating and helping him. Thank you very much, Natasha Victoria has just put the link in for the English Democrats in there. Thank you very much. It's always handy having your daughter laid in the bath pregnant and bored, which is where she is. And due to going to labour any day now. But it's good that she's sitting there going, I can help with that. Mum, I can get you the link. Boom, there you go. So for all of you that's looking for the link to be able to donate to help Robin fight this and fight for what is right, is greatly appreciated. As I said, yes, my daughter is due to give birth any day. So I am intending on interviewing Robin on here live. It's not going to be an interview like an interview would be in other cities, because I want to give people who come on the opportunity to ask him anything they want to ask him, no matter what it is. But if my daughter goes into labour, then I'm afraid that, you know, everything else goes out the window because I'm her birthing partner. So everything else goes out the window because that takes precedence over everything else. So that was one thing. Also, coming up in the next week, I'm also going to be interviewing a young man who I did share a GoFundMe out there for him. His name's William. His partner's name is Sarah. Now, William, a few years ago, was a homeless young man living on the streets who was going around window cleaning to try and make ends meet, and was seen as a vulnerable person as the perfect opportunity to convert to Islam. They said to him, if you convert to Islam, we'll help you with accommodation, we'll help you with your phone, we'll help you with food, we'll make sure you get this, we'll make sure you get that. So he did convert, and they then realised very quickly that he was the ideal material for radicalisation, and they set to radicalising him. There is no other way of describing it other than they intended to set him up ready for some form of act of jihad. He became a fundamentalist and extremist. They then started to tell him that they could get him a better wife. By that, they obviously meant they could get him a virgin bride and not some trashy little whore who's white. Because I'm sorry, but those who are extreme, they are the views that they have. What they didn't expect, and what took them by surprise more than anything else, was his love for Sarah. And this opened William's eyes. And suddenly he started to look around himself and realise what was actually happening. And instead of allowing them to do this to him, he didn't. He left Islam. And he walked away. But in doing so, placed himself in immediate danger because they immediately passed out his and Sarah's photograph amongst multiple WhatsApp groups, placing him in danger straight away. Just bear with me a minute because my partner's trying to ring me and I can't take the call. Just bear with me, actually. Just un momento. Did he take you for a quick walk with me? Tash? Natasha? She's deaf. I keep forgetting she's deaf. Tash?
Yeah?
Can you do me a favour? Can you just message Jason on WhatsApp and just tell him I'm doing a live feed at the minute?
Yeah.
Thank you. Comes the same. But you've got to get your daughter to message your partner to say that you can't answer the phone. And you're not intentionally ignoring them. She says. Right, let me just perch myself again. Because I'm having to balance my phone. And the reason is, I've just been too bone idle recently to actually bother setting my phone up, my computer up, where I can automatically use it. So, yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, William was radicalised and was becoming more and more extreme and more of a fundamentalist. In doing so, and leaving Islam, he placed himself in immense danger. They want him dead. Even now, they want him dead. And they want Sarah dead. They want Sarah harmed. And they would quite happily have no issue with the fact that she could be raped or killed or anything else. And some of the threats that he's had is horrendous. Now, this has also affected his mental health to the point where he struggles to step outside of the back door. He really does. So the fact that he is now willing to do a live stream with me on Facebook is actually an immensely brave thing to do. And at the moment, he's all guns blazing. He's ready to talk about what went on and what he went through. And also an opportunity for him, because his GoFundMe, he had a GoFundMe, he set a GoFundMe up, which he asked me when I share it out, which I did. Now, he was only asking for £223, and I would have loved to have seen the same kind of passion towards this young man as I've seen towards other people. But actually, it was a struggle to get £188. But he appreciates every single penny. He really, really does. So it'd be a nice opportunity for him to be able to come on and say a personal thank you. I know that he genuinely appreciates appreciates the donations and the fact that it gave him an opportunity, because he's found a new home. They've moved away from where they were, hopefully now out of danger. But of course they don't own anything, so they are trying to set up a new home. He's managed to pick up a lot of second-hand furniture, but there are certain things like a bed and a fridge and things like that that obviously he wants to buy a new. And I have to say, you know, for him to get that far with nothing more than the support from me on the other end of the phone, I raised my hands to him. I mean, I really do raise my hands to him. I think he's an amazing young man, but he's also got a lot of medical problems as well. He's got a lot of serious health issues. So it would have been nice to have seen that GoFundMe go up a lot higher than £220, which is all he'd set it at. But there you go, you know. Put on his GoFundMe link too, please. I will go into my messages, Horan, and I will put it out. After I've done this live feed, I will go into my GoFundMe, my messages. I will find the GoFundMe link. I will put it back out. And my daughter, she's so lovely. And if she carries on, that water birth that she wants will be happening, because I'll bring her into labour. Right, she keeps getting lippy on here. What else was there? So there was the English Democrats thing, the Robin Tilbrook's case, whereby he's taken the government to the high courts, through the high courts. He is fighting that battle on his own at the moment. Could do with a bit more support. It would be nice to see people actually put their hands in their pockets and help Robin, you know, just as they would help if it was somebody like, whether it be Farage or Tommy Robinson or whoever. But the fact of the matter is that I've seen people help, you know, I've seen them give thousands. And he's nowhere near the target. Gina Miller's case cost 1.2 million. 1.2 million. And he's not even set a target of what he's asking for. He's just asking for people to help him. He can't do this all on his own. You know, he's doing it through the courts on his own. So can we at least raise a few more donations to help him to fight for what we voted for, which is to be released from tyranny of the EU. And before I go, one last thing that I've noticed of recent is, I don't know whether it's because I am older now and therefore seeing social media open up opportunities for paedophiles, nonces, rapists, child fucking scumbag killers. But it's as if social media and the internet has allowed the sick and the deranged to have more access to children. And there was an article the other day, now admittedly it was in America, it wasn't in the UK, but you know, America, you're our ally, and when you were going through your votes and everything else, I cared quite a lot about whether or not you got Hillary Clinton or whether you got Trump. But this was in America, where a guy had raped a 5-year-old child. And he'd raped her so brutally, she's having to have surgery. And then you open up and you see case after case after case after case of young girls coming forward that, again, were failed by the social services, failed by the police here, failed by the local MPs and the establishment. Everybody ignoring these girls. All of them. You know? And more and more girls coming forward saying, yes, this happened to me, and yes, these men were Muslim. To be told, you can't say Muslim, you've got to say Asian. Well, do you know what? They haven't got to say anything. They know what was said to them. They know. And again, I've shared out, this is now the third article that I've read where a girl was forced, it was a forced conversion, then there was a Sharia marriage. These are young white girls who were born Christians. They're having forced conversions, they're having Sharia law applied to them. Believe you me, there are Muslim women out there having Sharia law applied to them in this country. Not in Saudi Arabia, not in Brunei, not in Dubai, in the United Kingdom. Now, we might not be seeing public executions right now and stoning of women, but as those Muslim reformers like Fawzia Rashid and Rahil have said, if you do not stop it, that is what you will see. But I've met young girls who were groomed by these bastards, who then had forced conversions, forced marriage, and then have been abused by Sharia law. 2 cases so far that I've been involved with, and I've read 3 articles since. Wed under Islamic law. So for all of you that never read the article, go on and just type into Google, Sarah, is this the worst sex grooming case in the UK? Read to the bottom of the article, you'll see Marius's name at the bottom of that. We live in a sick, sick world where we are expected to now say that paedophilia is a sexual preference. No, paedophilia is an unnatural sexual desire to cause pain and suffering. And when they say things, and I've seen the discussions going on, not every child thinks they were abused. What? Oh, hang on a minute. So if a man or a woman abuses a child, but the child doesn't realise they've been abused, that won't count as abuse then? So is that what we're going to start saying, is it? I don't think so. And also seeing more women. One woman, because she wanted to marry this man, gave her children, gave him her children, gave him her babies to rape. Gave them. I want to marry you, I love you so much. Give me your children, I want to rape your children. Oh, okay then, help yourself. Do you want my 4-year-old or do you want my 6-year-old? And I am sick to death of hearing how people talk about this, but they don't actively do anything to make a difference. If you can affect just one person's life, be it, for example, on here right now, the most beautiful lady you could ever wish to meet, Torren Watson, mother of Becky. Now, I've seen people take Becky's case and use it when they want to give a speech, and that's all well and good, wonderful. You've raised a bit of awareness about who Becky was, but what have you ever done to give support to Torren? I know that Torren, and I don't even know if she's reached a target at the moment, and if she hasn't, I hope she's got a GoFundMe, because I've already donated, and as have other people. She just wants to get a headstone for her daughter. For those who don't know who Becky was, and the reason this one strikes a chord with me as well is because this particular young lady shares my daughter's birthday. And all she wants to do is give Becky a headstone. Now, Becky was 11 years old when she was groomed by a Muslim rapist. By the time she was 13, she was dead. Now, if you read the article, they say it was a prank that went wrong. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a prank for Becky, and it certainly wasn't a prank for Torren. Now, I'm not going to go into the full details of what happened there. Then again, we've got somebody else on here right now, whose cousin was groomed and brutally murdered by a Muslim guy who had forced her to get the tattoo that said property of and his name. And they know they can pick the phone up to me, whether it be morning, noon or night, it makes no difference. I will always answer the phone to them. I will give them as much of me as I can give. If they said to me, we need you to come down and drive down and be here, we need you for this, I would do it. I would do it without even thinking. But I see too many people talking about the problem, and I don't see enough doing anything about the problem. And I don't see enough being done to give support to organisations like mine that have done this now for the past 10 years. And Caitlin Spencer wrote the book. Go onto Amazon, look up the book, Please Let Me Go, written by Caitlin Spencer, spelled Caitlin. Caitlin, I met, when I first met Caitlin, 2 weeks after I first met her, she attempted to take her life. 4 years after I met her, she wrote a book. Just from having that support. Just from having somebody there willing to listen and willing to say to her, you are entitled to a voice and I will give you a voice and I will not tell you what you can or can't say. I will not dictate to you, and I do believe you. Young girl that I'm helping at the moment. Again, forced marriage, forced conversion. He thought it was fun to beat her with wire coat hangers and wire flexes from phone chargers, and to torture her while she was pregnant with his child that she's unfortunately lost. This is a case that's ongoing and is due to go to court. I will travel as far as I need to, and I'll go and I'll sit in court with her so she doesn't have to go through it on her own, because that's what she has asked me to do, and I will do that. I see too many people talking about it, and I see too many people come on my, like for example, on my Twitter yesterday, and some guy comes on, fucking Muzzy. It took more letters to type that out than it did to type out that full word Muslim. I have no issue with you calling a Muslim, and a Sikh, a Hindu. I have no issue with that. But when you use derogatory words, the only thing you do is make yourself look stupid and ignorant. And you're supposed to be more intelligent than that. So that, to me, isn't helping. Coming on and preaching about it, how is that helping? How many lives could you change? Down the wrong hole. So I would like to see some changes for a change. So the idea that I've got, which is what I'm going to be speaking to Torrin about. Torrin's aware of what the idea is. Janaya also is aware of it because she will be involved along with several other people. I've also been in touch with Mohan Singh from the Sikh Awareness Society. I've also made contact now with a man called Manwar Ali, who is also unafraid to say what needs to be said. So when people go, oh, they're all Muslims the same. Actually, no. There are Muslims out there willing to stand up and say there is a problem within our Muslim community and we need to address it. We cannot ignore it. These men were Muslim. We could dress it up any way we like, but it won't change anything. So they're not all Muslims are bad, because they're really not. And Raheel Raza was the living embodiment of being a humanitarian. She makes no apology for the fact that these men are Muslim. She doesn't sit there and make excuses and say, oh, they're not real Muslims. She doesn't do that. She calls them what they are. They are Muslim men that have been raping predominantly white girls. And when they weren't, they were targeting Sikh girls. And the fact is that the idea that I've got, when I get it all together and we get it up off the ground, then I will go live. Then I will tell you what it is. And hopefully you will all get involved in actually being able to make a difference. A real difference. I've also been speaking to other organisations because there will be plans. I want to help other organisations like PAG UK do a brilliant work. But I want to be able to say, okay, what do you need? You need what? Okay, we can help you with that. Shatter Boys do a brilliant job. I want to be able to say, okay, you need help with that. Okay, we can help you with that. Even the veterans, you know, we've got a lot of veterans out there, and somebody comes to me and says, look, I'm a veteran, I can guarantee this guy is 100%, he's homeless, he hasn't got this, he hasn't got this. This is what we need. If I can make it happen, we can go, okay, well, can we do that? Yep, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. I want to actually see us doing something to help. I want to see community spirit that has been killed off in this country, hand over fist. I want to see that community spirit brought back, because do you know what? My daughter's about to bring a little baby into this world. And I would like that child to grow up knowing what community spirit actually meant to us and can mean again. So I have ideas on how to raise finances, and also to celebrate our own, what we know is our own way of life and our own cultural. That my daughter's just walked in, and I will tell you now, she does look a bit like a whale. She's enormous. She's enormous. Because she's literally due any day, but the baby's measuring quite large, so and I'm sitting there thinking, well, you were £8.14 and a half, so I don't have too much sympathy. But I've spoiled her a little tiny bit, fraction. Just I've spilled this much, she says. I spoil her a lot, but I am looking forward to her not having to get up every day and go, oh, enough now, Teddy. I just want you out now, Teddy. I want you out. But she is at the point, you know, ladies, when you get to that point at the end of the birth where you go, I've had enough. Just take this child out of me now. She's at that point now. So yes, I want to bring back some of our own community, sense of community and community spirit and celebrations of things that we used to do. That I've got ideas like you wouldn't imagine. Okay, they're brilliant ideas, and if we can bring it together and we can make it work, trust me, people can have fun. Community spirit can be brought back to life. Our culture and our history that we're told constantly you don't have one. We're going to say, do you know what? All the little things that you think are nothing, we're going to show you that it meant something. Because those little things piled together can often mean one big thing. So she says, I'm talking with my hands a lot today. What's that? I think this must be because I've got a great Uncle Abner on my mum's side. And of course, Jewish people, as much as I love them, they speak with their hands already in my life. and all my Jewish friends understand when I go like this, I'm talking with my hands. So maybe it's in the genetics somewhere down the line, you know, passed through a century. So, like I said, this is more about updates. Look out for the interview. Hopefully, if my daughter hasn't gone into labour, Saturday between 8 and 8:30, I'm going to bring Robin Tilbrook on here. You can all come on. I want you to then tell your friends to be there. Get your friends on, even if they're not on my Facebook. Bring them in, tag them to the live. They can ask him anything. I'll leave, and if I have to, if my daughter hasn't gone into labour and she's not doing anything, I'm going to ask her to sit there and just quite literally tell me any questions that pop up and message it to me so that we can actually make sure any questions you ask do get answered. Also, next week, sometime, look out for the interview with William. I don't know whether Sarah will come on the camera with him, but if not, then it'll just be William. But hopefully William can hold his nerve together, which he's doing really well, and go you, William. And I will also share out William's GoFundMe, because if we can help him raise a little more than £188 to just give him a little start, you know, a little kickstart, him and Sarah, and a little bit of happiness, and to show them that actually, we as a country and a community, we do look after each other. I would really appreciate that. But for now, I'm going to get off the phone because my partner's already tried to ring me because I've got to pick him up from the airport later. So I'm going to go. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. But as I said, look out for Saturday. But I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I'm going to have a nice relaxing weekend. You all enjoy yours. Be good, stay safe, keep out of trouble if you can. Bye.